Hello, my name is Carl Taylor and welcome to Piggy Taylor's RC's video. I'm just going to do a video about gluing a Volvo cab up from the way I print it, the kit, the way I print it as a kit. It's in like flat panels. Just a video about how I'm gluing them up to show you how they're done. Also, I'm just going to have a quick look at some cabs that I've done and working on and one thing and another, and just explain a bit I get my files from and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna quickly go through them just before we go to video. So just give us 1 second and I'll spin you around. Here we have the F10. This is the one I'm going to do a video about gluing up. They all glue up pretty much the same way, so they're pretty self-explanatory and quite easy to do. I use super glue and activator. It does help if you're somebody to spray for you as well. It helps with me. I end up sticking my fingers to them. The F10 cab there, and there's a F7 and the DAF, that's a DAF 2800. We're just doing these. I only downloaded them yesterday. I printed the 2800 here. I printed it in 1/8 if you get what I mean. I didn't slice it up to do it. I just did it one to try it's in red because I just wanted to try the filament and see what the filament were like. It's quite a good cab, nice detail, bit of writing there, a bit hard to make out with this colour. Basically just done the cab and the base. Let's get into focus here. Yeah. So the F10 and the F7 and the DAF cab, they come off, I got them files off CG Trader, a chap called Connie 3D I think it is, kind of design. They're about 24, 25 quid a piece. Good cabs. If you've got a 3D printer yourself, you download them. What they do to you, it is quite a bit of time to print all the cab and all the pieces. And if you look here, these are bags. I think that's a bag of parts at 88. They're all rest of the parts for F10 there. There is quite a bit to them, so they do take quite a long time. I'm quite lucky. We have 4 high-speed printers, so we can actually get a cab pretty quick, really. These run at about 250, 300 millimeters a second, where my old enders used to run at 60 millimeters a second. We can offer a print service for these. If you buy the files off CD Trader or contact me, and then I'll buy the files, and it is only fair that they get the money for the work they've done. I've done some cabs myself, and it is hard work, and it does take quite a bit of time and effort to do them, like, so it is only fair. These are private use cabs, you know, so it's only fair if somebody wants one. I mean, I were on yesterday and I clicked something and it sent me to a print service, and I think it was the S7 cab. They wanted £357 to print it. I think they print with diamonds or gold or something like that. Must be ground up in the filament, because I don't know how they get them prices. They must have some really expensive equipment, but it's certainly not that. If you do want one printing, like I said, we can get the files and just download your files. You can buy them and contact us, and we can print them for you. It isn't a problem. But like I said, it is only fair that, especially if he has it on a private license, so you download it, you print it for your own private use. So, but like I said, you print it for somebody else, as long as you bought the files, that's fine. The next one's here, F88, the 111 and the 112, which has been seen on a few videos now. I will get round to finishing that truck because it's the one I really wanted. and I've ended up with loads of them. They come off. They're not. They're off at a CG trader, and the designer's Hitman. They're on a royalty-free license. I don't know thing, but yeah, they're very good cabs. The 88, I think Connie also does an 88, but there are quite a few variations of that available on internet. This one is a very good one. I like this one. It's very easy to glue together. Has locating tabs and one thing and another. Very simple. Looks really well. Not a bad scale. Some of these chucks here, especially the 112, I have had to scale up to make them fit what I perceive as better. You know, I thought they were too tight, too narrow. 111, I'd say it's a bit narrow. That has super singles on it. I'd say it is a bit narrow and could probably do to be scaled just a touch, but it is passable. It is okay. Like, and then going on from them, like I said, they're available off Hitman on CG Trader. Similar prices, but like I said, I think it was about 20-30 hours to print, say 112, so roughly it takes us 30 hours to print. So on our old enders, you times that by 5, you know, but that prints a cab and all the parts for it. So on the old Ender 3s, are printed at 60mm a second. It's weeks. I know I've done them. So yeah, that's them and where they're from. The other ones here, the H60s, I forget even where the base file for that come from. I've had it that long. I've been working on it quite a long time. I think it were available on Thingiverse, I think, and then I've had to do a heck of a lot of modifications to it, alter it to get it just to get it to print. So yeah, that's where that come from. Off it wouldn't, the printer wouldn't even handle the file when we got it. You know, this is second one or third one I've done of these. I've been doing them more than anything to practice my painting. These are my own files. They're not off thing, and the SCL files will not be available for these. If anybody wanted one, then we will print it for them and sell it. Next one is CF 85, 75, whichever you want to call it. Sleeper cab one. I've had that now for quite a few years. Again, we are working on files now and still modifying it, but it is getting just about ready for printing. We've made it with removable roof, but I do prefer removable roofs on all my models, because once I put the windows in that truck, that were it. You know, and it is easier with roofs coming off. Next one is DAF CF, up the day cab. If you look at the window frame in that, I'm tending to do that with all of them if I can. I've just done the 112 same. I've made like a frame where I can glue the acetate film to it and then put the frame in. I find it, some of these, very difficult to get windows in it. So that's the best way I found of doing it. And like I said, we've just done it for 112, which is very difficult to get glass in, but easier with frame. 111's not so bad. I don't know about the others yet. The Volvo, the F10, that's not so bad. Put windows in, pretty straightforward really, that one. Next one here is DAF LF. I actually live in Farrington, where DAF's factory is, Leyland Motors. So you only seem right to have one. Would have been cheeky not to, really. Well, this one's a skip wagon. Had it about 3 years, coming up 3 years. Been working on it about 4 years. Again, still worked top cab and that, and altered a lot of stuff on it, and fine tuned it quite a bit. This is one of the first ones I've actually printed. With these new printers now, I'm hoping to get a lot better quality. I've got this one as a skip wagon. Has been seen on internet a couple of times. But yeah, that's probably one of my favourite trucks, that. Wires are hanging out of it at a minute because we have been working on it and playing with it a bit. Yeah, so that's some of the cabs that I do, and that's it. There's my XG's chassis. So yeah, and like I said, if you've got it next video, we'll do about gluing one up and how I go about it. Thanks for watching. What we have here is get all the bits out of the box and one thing and another. So first place to start, we've got the back panel, front panel, and the base, the cab base. The cab base, there's 4 holes in it, and then there's 2. Let me get that on here. There's 2 locators. Now, what I found with these is they're not necessarily brilliantly lined up. So what I'm going to do is I put 2 smallish self-tapping screws in front, just to give you a rough location, because eventually these screws will come out and it will be glued. And then in the back, I just lined it up to the one that's best fitting and just put a screw in that, and then I'm just going to see how I go. But it really just hold it and give you something to work to. Just put the screws in there. And then we have our doors. You have a bit of clean up to do with these. Check the thing. I use a small file and just clean up down the edges and make sure there's no lumps, and generally if it feels pretty smooth, you're alright. You do get bits of support on them and one thing and another. Give it a bit of clean, and then what I do then is I'll go in, screw the cab on each side, and as you can see, just even with 2 screws in it, and just hold it into place, and then just have a test fit and make sure it looks alright. See, that side looks fine, nice lined up at bottom, top. And then if you can't, a bit fiddly, you just see if you can get it in on front, and just check the fit, and that looks fine. And then what it's a case of, it's getting glue. I've got a needle in here to stop it going off while I have top off. Snips, not scissors. Pull the needle out. And then what I'm going to do is just a tiny bit. I'm just going to put it on bottom at door or top at door. It doesn't really matter. Just one little bit of glue, not a lot. Just run it down there. And then I'm just going to get it into position like that. And then using my fingers here, I'm just going to rub my fingers up it. Well, glue's not. Just hold it in position, and I want to see if I can get Andrea just to give that a spray. Boom. And I use activator because I find it sets it quicker. So I put glue on top bit so that I can still flex this about, and then if I do need to come off, I can put a bit of debonder in and pull it off without trying to strip the whole door. And then I'm quite happy with that. I'll just check the front fit now, and that looks good. So it looks nice and flush. And just rub your finger up and see if it's got it into position. And what I want to do, I'm going to hold this back, come over with it a bit. I'm going to pull it just back a bit then, and then I'm just going to do that seam just up there. And I'm just going to push it into position again, using my finger to make sure it's flat, and I'll activate it. So that's in, and that's that door on. I'm going to put my glasses on because I can't see a thing without them. And then I'm going to come into the front then, and I'm going to do the same, but I've already test fitted it, so I'm pretty sure it's going to fit. So it's a bit of a squeeze really there. So what I want to do is just at that bottom end there, it's not quite got it. So what I want to do is I'm going to take that screw off there, and I'm going to pull it out. to give me more, then I get a better fit. And so again, I'm going to glue the top, and then I'm going to glue the bottom. So I'm just going to touch there I've missed. I'm just going to just snip that out of there. Bit of glue up. Not massive amounts of glue if you can help it, just only tiny amounts, just basically wetting it. Come up, and going into position. Make sure I'm flat. Just rubbing it with my fingers, make sure I'm flat, and then activate it. Just hold it a second after, and you see it frost, you see it glue frost up. So if you're used to doing 1/25 scale and stuff like that, then this really isn't a problem. You know, I'm not the best at it, and my son actually put me right on how to do it, and I'm just checking the fit again here at bottom before I commit. And then I'm just going to go back in here at bottom. I'm just going to you can get glue, super glues, a lot finer nozzle than these, and then I think they're better for it. Then I'm getting a bit shortish there, and we pick these up. And just rub your finger, just over it, just make sure it's smooth, and then activate it. It is easier if there's two of you, and somebody to spray it and activate it. It just let that go off, and that goes in. So that side it cabs together, and then what I'm going to do then is just pop that back in there. And I've got my other door again cleaned up, and just check it. A bit of a foul, and just rub up and get any bits. No matter how much I foul them, I always seem to have bits left over that I miss. I think I tend to rush them a bit, me. Some people are more patient, I think. Right, a quick blow off. I'm going to just go in, test fit. That looks fine. That looks fine, straight in. So, like I said, the base is just to keep it square. It doesn't have to be fastened in or fastened down. So, like I said, I tend to glue my bases in, and the screws, they can come out later and just glue them and activate it, and it's fine. I'm just going to run this seam now because it does look quite good. So I want to do this one in a one. I'm just going to go right up that seam. I just put glue on one side. I know they say you should put glue on one side and activate or other, but I need time to make sure I'm right. So I tend to do them this way. And I'm just going to line it up at top. There's a little snicket at top there for it to line up to. I'm just use two hands. Just rub my fingers, make sure I'm in. Push it together and then activate it. That's it. That's all it is. Just all top again. Do top. That seems to have got that. Check my fit. Just rub my finger up, make sure it's going to be right. These 3D printed cabs, I like them. I'm finding it hard work learning how to paint them and one thing and another, but basically what we've got to, and I've done a few now, and each one I do seems to get a little bit better, but use filler primer. Give them a couple of coats and rub them off with like 320s or something like that I've been using just to rub it down, and it's surprising it takes a lot of lines out. And then what I was doing, I was trying to get them absolutely flat with filler primer, and when I come to paint them we still see lines. So go on, just activate that. So then what we do now is do that and then give them a coat with rattle cans, or we have a little spray gun, a paint, and then flat that. You know, when we did the XG, we used candy apple, which made it a bit more difficult, really. A bit of a steep learning curve with that. My son actually painted it, but we did end up with some lines and that. And I didn't use filler primer, just using grey primer, and you can get them pretty close. But that filler primer just takes it all out, and then once you put a coat of paint on, and then you flatten them and rub them down with 500, 600s or whatever, and you can actually see any imperfections then. So you use your first coat as like a primer, really, and go in and sort out any defects, and then when you come to put your next coats on, you should be somewhere a lot closer. I'm putting these together because I'm actually going to paint them and see if I'm getting any good at it. And then if they're bad, I hide them from my son. But it's just a case of practice makes perfect. I've never been a brilliant painter or body man or thing. But to actually glue up, so now that's pretty set, pretty strong. Just leave a couple of screws in base. We can even put another one in or two. But look at these holes; they don't just line up perfectly. But like you said, when later just drop some glue in them holes, push it down, glue it in, and under back here. But I'll do that in a minute. And then same thing with these. They have a hole in them, and then just get your files. I use quite a big file for this, and then just go flat on them, and then just check any burrs just off the inside there. These parts here, they print very thin. So what I tend to do is when they come off printer, I go through them, and then any little defects or loose bits or anything like that, and then in the corners I run super glue round it in seams, and then activate it, and that'll put some strength back. And then in any really thin parts, you know, I use super glue as like a filler, and it'll just put that little bit of strength back in it. The outside, the bit you see is fine. That's just sometimes you just get them a bit, they're drawn a bit thin, really, but it's not really that big of an issue. They're not underwater or anything, these, so just give them a bit of clean up, because it's easier to get it now than when it's actually on the model. I don't go silly with it, I just need something light. And then under here, you've holes to line these up. So just get a line there, and then one on one, a nut and a bolt. Would be good. I'm just going to get a nut and a bolt. I'm just going to pop just a screw, just 3mm. Just go in that, and then find me hole, screwdriver. And what this does is it aids you to just gonna see if that's 3mm, that, I thought they were, yeah, they will. Just gonna put that in there. That'd be a bit of a washer on it, it'd probably be better, but it's gotta get under here now, line it up, and then just screw it in. Just to make it easier, I'd just pop through that hole with a 3mm drill. But it will, that's like self-threaded a bit, just to give you, and all I want to do really is hold it in position. So we've got it there, we've got it lined up, so I'm just gonna look round it, make sure I'm pretty even with me line there. Just move about. Then underneath, you're gonna glue there. So then what I'm going to do is, that's just more of a locator than anything else. I'm just going to hold my finger there, hold it tight, have a look down it and around it. So just a bit out, pull it into position I want. This looks good. You could measure that, or if you wanted. But, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get my glue, and then in here, up front, I'm just going to put a bead on. I'm just going to leave it for a minute, just to let it soak in. And then I'm just going to give it a squirt. So that's really holding that now. So again, I'm just going to check it, make sure I'm right. I look alright. There is another hole there, so you can put your 2 screws in. This one's right at the edge, but it will locate it. So you just but like I said, you could bolt them on if you ever wanted to take it off. You know, you want to take them off to paint. 2 screws, 2 washers, and don't glue it. And then when you know, then obviously that can then be removed, painted separate, and then bolted on later. Like I said, I'm a private hole and basically to show you anyway. So, but you could just use them 2 screws, put nuts at the other end. And then obviously when you can build it all up, make sure you're right and you're happy, and then obviously you can take them off, remove them, paint them, and then when you go to put them back on, glue them as a final thing. You know, it's entirely up to you. The holes are there. What I would recommend if we were doing that is I would put a 3mm washer on, and then I'd put a nut on the inside. But what you'll find is when you come to fit your seats on these, the seats hit them, so you can either modify your seat to go around it, drill your seat or whatever, cut a bit out to go around the bolt so it will sit in, or like I did with my last one, I just glued them. You know, I'm gonna have this all one colour anyway, so it isn't a big issue to me, but it's not drastically important to do it. So we've glued that one, so what I'll do, I'll put a couple of screws through this. I'm just going to use a file. I'm just going to check it, make sure we'll do a file. The outside you can see here, feel fine. Always on edge. I'm just going to ream them holes a little bit. Find myself a couple of like I said, when I'm doing them I generally have a section. Some of the other cabs have got clips. I think the F88 is very good. It has like locating clips on it, which makes it a lot easier, and you've no nuts and bolts of screws. So I've just got a couple of screws here. And I'll bolt this side in, and then oh yeah, brilliant, got Allen keys. Just put your nut in, pop it in there, stick your finger on it, find a nut. I'm not going to use an eye lock, I'm just going to use an ordinary nut on this. That with your finger. Again, it can be easier just to sometimes, just to get this started really. Just you know, can be a bit fiddly. I'm trying to. All these nuts and that here, I can't find a 3mm plain nut. There you go. Just nut and bolt on the inside and just give that just a little bit of nip. It doesn't need a lot. It's just, like I say, bottom's fluffing about anyway, but just line it up. There you go. They really don't take long to glue together, and so I'm just gonna, like you said, you just clean these holes out with a 3mm drill bit, but they do self-tap to a bit. They're not so far off. So that will just screw into there, and it'll probably just nip enough to hold it, really. So it will hold it. Like you said, you will put a nut on the inside. It'll be a thing, but so that's the side guards on. What I do is just test fit my roof. On my roof, you've got these cutouts here. I put locators in this. They don't click in. It just sits. And this just makes sure everything's square. We're in there, and then this will actually, when you put your roof in, it should pull it pretty square. Like I said, there's a little bit of trimming to do there. It's just a bit of a nip off. And just same on the other side there, where I've just not cleaned it enough, but I don't do that first because it helps to locate your door. You know, so if you leave that on, and then what I'll do now, I'll just pull my roof out. Should come out. And then just get a pair of snips. Can you get in there? Can you see it? And then just that bit there, top of the door. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it on the line, on the seam for the door, and I'm just going to snip that off. But like I said, don't cut that off before you put your doors in, because it's you'll need it. It's a lot easier to line your doors up to that slight curve. What I really need to do is go back into my drawing and